Straight off the bat, I wanted to apologise for the audio quality for this vlog. I don't normally do voiceovers, but on this occasion I had to, because most of the audio that I recorded, well, you just couldn't really hear it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a combination of commentating over, overlaying the video that you'll be able to see with what I was thinking at the time, just because I couldn't have relayed it to camera because it was so windy. So I hope you enjoy the vlog. That is one of the best sounds known to man. Not the wind. The soft crunch of snow wilting underneath, your vertical pressure. Thumbs up from me. Apologise for the wind noise, but it must be 40-50 mile an hour gusts up here. It really is quite bad, coupled with 1-2 degrees of heat today. It's quite tough going up here. There's no chance of a long exposure, a big stopper exposure, no chance. The wind will just knock it over. So I've got to be a little bit more clever and selective about what I want to shoot. I've been walking now for a good few hours, and I'll be honest, I haven't found a shot yet. I haven't even got the camera out of the bag, which is cool. I don't mind that at all, because essentially this has been one big scouting location. I don't know what a scouting location is. I could have meant scouting for a location, or even location scouting would make more sense. And if nothing else, it's just been a nice little winter walk, which is always awesome. But I haven't really found myself a shot. I thought there was going to be lots of snow around. Well, there is a little bit, but nowhere near how much I thought there would be. I guess that's because the sort of warmish winter sun has just blasted it away. As well, it's been so windy. Like 40-50 mile an hour winds on the tops. So I wouldn't be surprised if the wind has played a big part in that. So what I'm looking for, I think what I need is a tree. So I'm on the lookout for an interesting tree. So I'll let you know if I find one. So by now it had been probably about 3 hours walking, and I hadn't even taken a shot. So I was getting a little bit fed up, and I was starting to think that I wouldn't see a shot, especially as I encountered the gale force winds on top of British Camp. Now, for those of you that don't know where British Camp is, it is located in the south of the Malvern Hills range. It's the second highest peak, and as I was looking south, you could see that the next hill to the south of British Camp, which I believe is called Millennium Hill, was sheltered from the sun pretty much all day, and it was one of the only hills that had retained the snowfall from the previous day. Now, because of the wind chill, and the wind speed, had actually blown away most of the snow from most of the hills. So this is what I was left with, and I thought that it would be a great opportunity to snap a panorama. And what I also did as well, I did a horizontal 3-shot panorama. In retrospect, I'm really pleased with. I think it looks really good because there were 2 hikers that were actually climbing to the top, and I've got them in shadow just about. So far, a largely unsuccessful shoot, really. I just haven't found the light, which is the whole point. It's cold enough now that I think it's actually going to snow, because if I look behind me, you can actually see a big, instead of this lovely bright blue, we've now been covered in clouds. So that's pretty much my cue to get down to the car, I think, because I could find myself in quite a miserable situation. But I might hold it out and see if the conditions get any better. If not, there's this really cool reservoir down here
I don't know if to take a chance and get down there, because it looks like there's going to be no sunset now. It's snowing. So literally 30 seconds, not even that, 5 seconds after I just recorded that video, a huge hailstorm just passed right in and it knocked my tripod over and I had to really flexibly pack away all the gear. But as you can see, the low cloud is just moved in the valley. Quite interested to see what's going to happen next. Now the reason that I quite like this scene, first and foremost, is that big T. That's just crazy the way that's come about. I think that's an upper footpath and the local conservators' worst nightmare. Someone's just cut across and that has become a new footpath and that has ultimately formed a big T. And what I like as well is there is a path that runs down the lower level as well as down here in the foreground. So lots of lines to draw interest, which I think are the main hills on the back where they hit the sky. And just as a lovely little, cherry on the top of the cake, we've got a lovely little sunset as well. So whether I can bring that out or not, I'm not sure. But nothing's too vibrant tonight. It's actually quite a serene sunset.
So the big stopper was put on the front of the camera and I fired off a few exposures. Now when you obviously are doing long exposures and the light is low, you'll most likely be doing very long exposures. I was doing 1.5 minute, 2 minute, 2.5 minute exposures. Hence a lot of standing around looking like a teapot and a lot of camp stances, which I'm never aware of.
So I've just shot the last frame of the day, what I hope will be the last frame. The memory card is just writing it because it's quite a big file, so I've just done a 2.5 minute long exposure. This is the scene that I wanted to capture, and there's a nice little bit of cloud now. One thing that I will struggle with is the colour, and I'm really hoping that I don't over or underexpose. Certainly I hope I don't overexpose too much because I don't have ND grads to use. So I'm hoping that I won't blow my highlights so that I can bring them down and play with them in Lightroom. But I guess I'm about to find out any minute. So that's me done for the day. I haven't really commentated much on a lot of my photos because of the weather really. It really made it quite difficult to talk to you guys because at some points it was, must have been near freezing today, and with that wind at the top, 30-40 mile an hour wind. Luckily it was a southerly wind, not a northerly wind. If that was a northerly wind, it felt like a million needles hitting you in the face. And as well, a couple of hours ago, just before I've taken that last shot, when I got caught out in that little hailstorm, again, like when they're all, when this hail's hitting you in the face, and when you're in the hills and the mountains, you feel so exposed because there's nowhere to hide. And that's all the whole fun of it, isn't it? So I'm nearly back at the car now. A few hours ago I was thinking this was a bit of a pointless exercise, but I think I've got one decent photo. I think that photo of the snow, the snow-capped shelf with a couple that are walking up the hill, I think that will look quite cool. Not too sure about the 10 stop I've just done because it, again, it's a little bit windy, so I'm not expecting that one to win any awards. I took a couple of, what are they called, like profile pictures, because I'm thinking that on all my social medias, if that's a coin of phrase or English, I want a consistent picture. So people are like, oh, that's Andrew Maguire. I can tell because I know his picture because I've seen his picture on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. So I think I'm going to use one of the photos that I've done today. So just before it started hailing, I did a few photographic selfies, let's call them. and I did them using the Canon Connect app. So if anyone wants any tips about how to use that, get in touch. Maybe I'll do a video on that as well. Right, I can see the car, I've got a visual. Time to go home and get some coffee because I am absolutely frozen. But as I said, all in all, it's been fun today. So, you know, I'm going to say subscribe. Oh, and by the way, thanks for everyone who has subscribed. 1,000 subscribers. The Casey Neistat of Malvern, so feeling good. So see you on the next video. As always, love you all. See you soon.